Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Um, I don't know if I will be posting this video or not, just because of the current place the story is at, because we haven't really gotten all of the evidence yet. But there's been a more evidence that's been coming out to suggest otherwise, and I just would like to archive such a thing before we get to, the inevitable trial and stuff like that, because we'll probably be talking about this again sometime in the near future. And this video is going to be the first of like 4 or 5 back to back, because just to prepare yourself, I am going to be doing a week long content, like just day to day, for classic type films. I'll be explaining it more in a new segment that's about to be released. It'll probably be the next video, actually. So, so stay tuned for that, and just buckle up because we got a couple of videos down the pipe. So, yeah, just a FYI. But just to start off the week, I figured we might as well just talk about the thing that most people are talking about, and that is in regards to Jonathan Majors. Now, I did a video about this about a few months ago, and a lot of you seem to have disagreed on my points about that, which is fine. I mean, it's all subjective, but and at the time, and still, to a degree now, it's still fairly subjective. There's no hard evidence yet to suggest, this and that. I will say this, though. In the case of what is going on at court, with what's happening between him and this ex, whatever the hell it was, I do subscribe to the idea now that, that Jonathan is innocent, because there's much more evidence that's been presented now to suggest that Jonathan didn't do much, and that the girlfriend is basically an Amber Heard type, or at least is mentally unstable. So in the context of what the trial will probably be about, I am in favor of Jonathan Majors in that regard. Now, obviously by the title of this video and by how I set this up, I obviously still don't favor Jonathan Majors in general, because a Rolling Stone article came out a few days ago, which details a lot of allegations to Jonathan Majors, a lot of sources that were quoted and then just spoken on. So I'm not taking this article completely authentic because of the lack of because of the transparency of it, and just the fact that there's no named sources and stuff like that. Like, there's a source apparently that's under an NDA, so they can't say anything. But reading the article, there is a consistency that I have found that I believe lends itself to having some truth. So, because one of the things that the article details about Jonathan Majors, if you were to read the article, because it's a fairly long article, which, by the way, apparently there's been some potential misconceptions or some misquoting that might have happened with that article. So again, I'm not sure how legit things were with the phrasing of certain things in that article, but or things were taken out of context. I don't know. But here's what I do know. The pattern of violent, not violent, but questionable behavior is present. So because the article goes on and details a couple of instances where he's been on set, specifically on his latest film, which was Magazine Dreams. I just want to say Magazine Drive for some reason, which I heard things about at Sundance. I heard he was pretty good in it. But apparently he got into a couple of disputes, a couple of arguments on set. He apparently uses intimidation as a means of like basically playing like a dominating type role. Kind of trying to display a certain demeanor, which is not appropriate. And his attorneys responded to that by saying that, oh, well, he has a method acting process. Which, when that statement was now made, I now realized that, okay, there probably is some truth to what's being said here, because anybody who actually understands what the attorneys are saying and understanding the idea of method acting, using common sense, you guys will recognize that just because you act a certain way and just because you use a certain process, we talked about this before, it does not excuse the bad behavior that you bring to set or the bad behavior that you have around people. Just because you're a method actor does not mean you get to be an asshole. Okay? So, from what it sounds like, Jonathan was using that as a way to just be a dick, and just to be a jerk. So that's not appropriate. There also seems to be a pattern of and these are getting into allegations, but there's a pattern of violent behavior potentially from past relationships, and he seems to have quite the temper, it seems, based on the article. So when people say that he is completely 100% innocent, I find that to be comical because of now all this evidence that's coming out, and also just by looking through everything, like it's hard to just say that he's completely 100% innocent. This isn't the case of like Johnny Depp, where you go through that whole trial and you see how everything plays out, and you see that, well, yeah, Johnny Depp is completely innocent. He didn't do much of anything. Yeah, he had alcohol problems, but it's like there was no correlation, as they proved in court. With this, though, there's just a bunch of stuff that's coming out. Like, the Rolling Stone article even said there was a person who was quoted saying that, look, we knew this shit was going to happen eventually. All this shit was going to come out, So it's quite damning if that article proves to be legit, because that's a lot of stuff that that proves my point about Jonathan. Because I was, right from the start, I just, something about the way that was phrased and the way that case was presented, it just didn't feel that Jonathan was completely innocent. Now, it's not to say that I knew all this stuff was going to come out, but it was just to say that, like, I still believe that Jonathan did participate in some behavior within this case. Now, I do believe that Jonathan, in this instance, is mostly innocent, but I wouldn't be surprised if they found something that, like, there probably was some aggression, there probably was some bad behavior that took place, because this article shows to me that, that he is willing to conduct in that behavior. Oh, but he's a method actor, he's an artist, he has a, it's like, that's not an excuse. That's just, that's just padding or covering up for your bullshit. So I don't think the man is innocent. I don't think that he is out of the woodworks just yet. I think he's going to be dealing with this shit for a while. And I don't know how Hollywood's going to respond to it. Disney is the most interesting one because he's Kane, so he's the big baddie of the MCU. I'm very curious to see what they do with him at this point. I have a the reality is that they probably will keep him, just because the story has not really been in the press as much. It's only came back recently just because of that Rolling Stone article, but it hasn't really been in the press as much. So I think that they'll probably do what Warner Brothers did, which is that we'll just wait it out, and then we'll just put out whatever film he's in next, and hope that the quality of said film will suffice, So, and obviously the film I'm referring to, obviously at Warner Bros. Was The Flash, which that proved to blow up in their face, but for Disney, that might be how they play this, because I don't think they're going to recast him. I think people are thinking that might happen. I don't think they would, and even if they did, I mean, they have the whole multiverse timeline thing, so they can always just make some fucking excuse as to why he looks different now. So, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. But I do think though that the man is not innocent. I think that he has that Rolling Stone article really, put in perspective a little bit about who he is. He seems to be a pretty aggressive guy. Seems to be potentially abusive. So when people say he's completely innocent, I happen to believe that that's probably Marvel fanboys or just people who are not reading things, presuming that it's a like a Amber Heard type situation. Like I said, in the case of what's being presented in court, yes, I do believe that it is more of the woman's issue than it is than Jonathan's. But to say that Jonathan as a person is completely 100% innocent, I don't think that that's the case. I think that he has skeletons in the closet, and if that Rolling Stone article is to be believed, yeah, the man's got a lot of work ahead of him. So, and I don't think at this point he's really got much of a career. I think unless Disney wants to tolerate him, because I think that's pretty much how it's going on. I think everybody's like, well, what's Disney gonna do? They're kind of wondering what Disney is gonna do with him. My guess, probably nothing, and then it might go back to business as usual. But we'll see. But I don't think he's completely innocent, though. That article was fairly damning. His attorneys did a terrible job trying to explain some of the stuff in the article. Method acting does not excuse bad behavior. It doesn't. That's a terrible excuse. So, or a terrible way to justify his behavior, to explain the things in the article. Very, very poor. So, and they're going to bring that up in court too. That in the trial that they'll be bringing up these statements that they said and all that. It's just it doesn't work in his favor. Like I forget the text messages, but I remember those text messages way back then. That didn't work in his favor either when his attorneys released certain things. So yeah, so I still don't think he's innocent. But we'll see. We'll see what happens at the trial. So, like I said, just to reiterate, I do think that he's innocent in the context of this specific incident. But in terms of a person, in terms of who he is, and in terms of just how he conducts himself and how he deals with people, I do not believe that to be the case. I believe that he possesses an aggression and a potential abusive attitude and behavior. So, but yeah, And if we do find out that he actually is an abusive guy, then yeah, fuck him. I want these assholes removed from Hollywood, but we shall see. We shall see. Like, Ezra needs to be removed from Hollywood. Like, he got something removed recently. Like, I think he got one of his charges got lifted or whatever like that. He went to social media and started spewing nonsense, saying I'm completely innocent, or the court system is fucked, whatever like that. But yeah. And then I think Amber Heard just went to a festival not too long ago, saying a bunch of nonsense too. So just get these people out of Hollywood, please. Like, just stop tolerating fucking assholes. So, but we'll see what happens. But you guys know your thoughts on the whole Jonathan Majors thing. This thing's getting like blown out of proportions, really. Like, just people just saying so much shit about it. As far as I can understand, the girl was mentally unstable, and she seems to be coked out, alcoholic also. Like, she seems to be a mess. So, so it seems like she's in the wrong, not much of Jonathan. But that doesn't mean that as a person he's all good, So that's where I'm coming from. But you guys know your thoughts in the comment section below about this whole thing. Maybe I'm missing some information. You guys let me know. I believe the trial's in August, so we shall see. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be doing more videos tomorrow. We got another one tomorrow, and then another one. So we got like a couple videos back to back, so be ready for some content. And then we'll take a break for like 2 or so days, and then we start off the week of classic movie reviews. So hopefully you guys are in for the ride. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. So see you guys then. Bye.